Guys, most people grow up thinking that if you just work hard and you get a good job, that you'll be fine financially. And that idea used to work a lot better than it does today. But in 2026, things are different, and not everyone is talking about it honestly. The truth is, making money now is actually harder than it looks from the outside. You see people online and it appears as though they're making money easy. But that's not entirely true or the actual true story. There are a lot of people that are struggling behind the scenes, and even though they have a job and work hard, it's not like it used to be. And people wonder what's going on because no one has ever explained it. Everything that you see on social media, all of the TikTokers, the people that do day trading, the people that do drop shipping, the people that do TikTok shop, the people that are streamers, or the people that just make money for posting something food related. It seems like that's the quickest way to become a 100,000aire or a millionaire. But the truth is, guys, it takes years to develop, and it's not simple. And I don't want you to be fooled by what you just see online without seeing all the steps that it took from the beginning to get there. A lot of it has to do with luck. A lot of it has to do with the fact that the pandemic changed a lot of people's lives. It could have just been the right place at the right time, but I'll get into all of those details in this video today. I think one of the biggest changes right now is that it's not just enough to have even one job. Even if you make a decent amount of money, there's still pressure from the rising costs of everything else. Things like rent, food, insurance, and everything else, they're still high from even just a few years ago. Inflation has slowed down a little bit, but the prices haven't actually come down. So your money just doesn't go as far as it used to. And therefore, even if you make more, it's not like it used to be. There's always a lot of people who feel like they're not getting anywhere, and it's frustrating when you're doing everything right. However, another hard reality is that job security is also not like what it was in the past. You might be thinking that getting a decent job means that you're covered, but that's not necessarily true in today's world. Companies are always evolving, and that means that cutting costs and even laying off people at times is the way that they need to move in order to save money. And I can promise you, AI is not going to make things any easier. And with that point, we've seen more of these layoffs in the tech and corporate world even just in the last few years or so. Even the most brilliant, hardworking people have lost their jobs for no reason at all. And this means that you cannot depend on a single salary for a long time, as things can change in a moment's notice, even if you're not doing anything wrong. And that's unfortunately the reality for a lot of people, and that truly they're not usually prepared for it. As I just mentioned AI, technology is changing the way people earn their money, especially considering the increasing capabilities of AI technology. Some jobs are getting easier, faster, or even being automated out of existence. And that is not to say that there are no opportunities out there, but the game is changing. What was valuable in the past may not be valuable in the future. People who are willing to change, to learn new things, will have an advantage. But people who don't change, who don't learn new things, will unfortunately fall behind. And that is just the way that the game is changing now, and it's changing fast. And guys, I wish I had a magic genie lamp to be able to just wish this away. But unfortunately, unless you adapt, it's not going to just go away. It's only going to get worse. So here's the thing that most people don't get. Working harder does not always translate to making more money. You can work hard and still not make more money. That's because money is not just a matter of working hard. It's also a matter of making sure that your job is valuable. Some jobs are valued more, and thus they pay more, while others don't, no matter how hard you try. That's why you may find that two people worked just as hard, but they make totally different amounts of money. It may not be fair, I know, but it is the reality. Another big problem out there is that it is so easy to spend money without even thinking about it. Everything is designed to be fast and convenient. You can order food, buy things, or even subscribe to services in a matter of seconds. Of course, it's a wonderful concept, but unfortunately, it makes it very easy to lose track of your money. You might think that a small purchase is not a big deal, but over time, yeah, that can add up to a lot. And that is exactly what is so difficult about getting ahead financially. People don't even realize this is a problem until they're thinking about their spending habits. And who knows when that is? In fact, guys, I'm very, very curious. Please let me know when you've started monitoring your spending habits. When did you start thinking to yourself, hey, I should check my bank account, see exactly where every dollar and cent is being spent? Where exactly is my money going? Why did I spend so much at this restaurant? Why did I buy this thing? Are you budgeting this? And please share it with our community. Please comment down below exactly what changes you've made to budget your money and to track your spending habits. And guys, another thing that's going on right now is that people are achieving major milestones much later in life than they used to. So don't feel like you're behind just because you're 30 something years old and maybe you haven't gotten to exactly where you want to be. Milestones are being stretched out now just as much as our life expectancy is being stretched out. For example, something like moving out of the house or owning a house or even being financially independent takes much later than it used to. Not because people are lazy, but it's because everything is just much more expensive than people's salaries. People's salaries aren't rising as fast as housing, food, or other living expenses. And so even though people are working full time, they feel like they're still behind. And it's like, you're doing everything right, but you're just not achieving the results that you thought you would. And that's a really confusing place to be if nobody explains to you why. And this is exactly why I make these videos, just to remind you that you're not alone. The world's just changed, and the expectations unfortunately haven't. And that's a lot of what people are feeling right now. Now, guys, before I get into more details of the harsh reality of making money in 2026, if you're gaining value from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could smash that like button, put a comment down below, and subscribe. Your love and support means a lot to this channel and the community that we're building, so please show some love by smashing that like button, commenting down below, and subscribing. Alright, now let's get into the next segment. So guys, there is a lot of pressure from social media too, when it comes to money in general. You're always seeing people flaunting their lifestyles, their cars, their vacations, and their successes. It feels like everyone is living a better life than you. But guys, the thing is, you're only seeing half of the story. All you're seeing is just the highlights, but you're not seeing the debt, the stress, and everything that comes along with that. It gives you unrealistic expectations. It makes you feel like you're behind when in fact you're actually not. I mean, just think about it. Would anybody go on Instagram or Facebook or pretty much any social platform and actually put the downsides of what they're facing more commonly? Or do you think they would only put the things that they've been successful at, like graduating from school or making a lot of money somehow or buying their first home or just being happy? You're only seeing the highlights. You're not seeing all of the sacrifice and the time it took and the ups and downs that they went through just to get to that point. And with that being said, I want to share another harsh truth with you. And that harsh truth is that saving money alone just isn't enough anymore. Keeping your money in a regular bank account won't grow it much over time. In fact, inflation slowly eats away at its value. And that means that you can actually lose your buying power if it just sits there. To really get ahead, guys, people need to learn how to grow their money. That usually involves investing or just building something. But a lot of people avoid this because they are unsure or they're afraid. And that hesitation can cost them a lot in the long run. And at the same time, there's a lot of misinformation out there about how to make money. You'll see people online promising quick and easy results to success. They make it seem like there's a shortcut to getting rich. But guys, most of those paths are either risky or unrealistic. Real financial progress usually takes time and consistency. But yeah, you have to remind yourself that it's not exciting. You're gonna be lonely. Entrepreneurship is a lonely road. But I can promise you this, if you're consistent and you're disciplined and you're moving towards something like success that you're trying to achieve, it's way more reliable if you're doing it on a daily basis, building a brick at a time and getting to the point where you want to be instead of seeing overnight success. I'm not saying overnight success doesn't exist. It's out there. And some people get really lucky. But for the majority of us, it's not like that. And that's the problem with today's society and economy. Everybody's drawn to fast results, and that can lead them to bad decisions. Another thing people don't talk about is how important it is to have multiple ways of making money. Relying on one source of income is riskier now more than ever. If that one source disappears, you're stuck. That's why more people are exploring side hustles or additional income streams. It doesn't have to be huge, but it does have to be something extra just to protect you. That can give you more options and stability in case something does happen. It also helps you build skills outside of the main job that you have, and that can open up new opportunities over time. However, there's also something that people don't necessarily understand when it comes to making money, and that has to do with the actual time in which the money is made. See, most jobs will give you money based on the amount of hours worked. So that means the amount of money made is based on the amount of time spent. This means essentially that if the time spent working stops, then the money stops as well. This in turn puts a limitation on the amount of money made unless other means are found. This is why some people try to focus on making things that can make money, but not necessarily based on the amount of time spent. I know it's not easy, but it definitely changes the way money can be made. The truth is, guys, making money today requires more awareness than it did in the past. You can't just follow the same path and expect the same results. You need to understand how things are changing and make those adjustments. That means learning new skills, managing your money, and thinking long term. It's not about being perfect, guys. It's just about being intentional. It's the little things that you can do over time that make a big difference. Remember, build a brick a day. And also understand that it's important to establish this habit early on. You don't want to be one of those people that find out too late. All in all, guys, the harsh truth is that at the end of the day, this isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to prepare you. You know things are tougher now, but they are also easier in some ways too. There's opportunity out there if you understand it, if you look for it, and if you're intentional about it. The people who understand how money really works will be at an advantage over you. You don't need to understand it all right now, but you need to start thinking differently. You need to start asking better questions and stop doing what everybody else is doing. You need to start focusing on learning and getting better step by step. This is how you can actually get ahead. That's what most people never take time to figure out. Guys, I want to thank you for watching this video all the way through. If you gained any value, motivation, or even discipline from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. I make new videos every other day, so I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video.